The following program is paid for by the Charlie Butler team. Looking for tips on selling your home? Tune in to the Charlie Butler Show right here on WGBF AM every Sunday at 9 a.m. The Charlie Butler Show, where your questions get answers. Charlie guarantees it.
Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. This is the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show. Got some real estate experts with me today. One of them is not Jordan.
I've learned enough on this show that I should be labeled a real estate expert, all right?
But you're going to have, when people look at you with that scraggly beard.
Hold on. I know I haven't treated my beard in a few months, but it's not that scraggly, all right?
I'm thinking a lot of us guys have the face for radio. That's all I'm saying in this room.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Would you get your real estate license, you going to shave your beard off?
Why would I? That's going to be the signature look.
Yeah.
What other realtor has a big beard?
Actually, in this day and age, I think there's more of them out there. Yes.
Some of them can't afford razors. So that's
Some of them identify as women.
this is true. I can see funny. The show is getting off just as normal, like normal,
like usual.
Jordan, Candace is not here today, and because Candace was in Panama. We don't know if she's a drug mule or not, but that's
Panama, the country, or Panama City Beach?
Panama, the country.
No, the country.
Okay. Good
no, and I'm only for any law enforcement that may be listening.
Candace is not a drug mule.
Thank you, Mindy.
She's too nervous. It would never work.
Candace would get the airport and go, I give up.
I give up.
It's in my backpack, I swear.
That's hilarious.
Just don't mess my hair up.
Don't put a crease in my hair.
Yep.
When you handcuff me, let me stand on my good. Let me
turn to my good side.
That's hilarious.
Before you arrest me and take my picture.
Yep.
Oh, but in all seriousness, Candace just got back from Panama late last night, so we've got Mindy. I almost said Malinsky.
Hey, it's whatever.
But for many years, I knew Mindy as Malinsky. It's now, 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years I've been married. Who would have thought?
6 years.
Yeah. Someone put up with me for this long.
It's a shocker, but and Mindy has a very nice husband, Dan Woodward,
who also carries guns.
Yeah, so and can be a little crazy sometimes. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So,
but I love you.
Yeah. So Mindy Woodward's with us. I tried to get her while she was getting a drink of water there.
Yeah. Nice try.
Good morning, Mindy.
Good morning.
And Mindy, as many of you know, Mindy's filling in for Candace today, but Mindy's been a many-time guest and occasional guest host. She is kind of our David Letterman of our Johnny Carson show.
I am the David Letterman, yes.
Yeah.
I even have the voice to go with it. I was also out of town on vacation, and apparently when I came back into Evansville, my throat said, so now we're going to get raspy. So
welcome to allergies.
Welcome to allergies.
And to my left here, David Crow from Churchill Mortgage. Gosh, darn it. Whatever you do, David.
Whatever it is, I get it.
Good morning, David.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everybody. Boy, we hit the ground running this morning. I hope you all are entertained listening to this one.
They're either
we're up and moving.
But we're going to talk to David in a minute because he's got some. For once, we've got some good news to talk about today.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we've had to make up good news lately. No, I'm kidding about that. But anyway, but also Jordan, you and Mindy were with each other yesterday.
Yeah, house is almost ready to go on sale.
Wow, why to get me in trouble? It's his girlfriend.
Not in the gutter sense. Yeah, no, Mindy is is listing. Is listing my house, including the gutters on my house, and I am hightailing to Illinois. So
yeah, and we were just talking about off the air. For those of you that are driving to church, Jordan will be living in sin in Breeze, Illinois. So.
And we mentioned that many of us have also lived in sin many times.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
many times. But I'm gonna
David goes, amen.
Amen.
Charlie, I'm already making up for it because I've already looked into buying Cardinal season tickets.
Okay, well
so I'm already making up for it and becoming a Cardinal fan and everything.
Well, you can get a partial season ticket package fairly.
Oh, I've already looked all into it. I know it's not bad. I can get nosebleeds for like $1,000.
Well, you can,
and then move around.
Yeah, then move around wherever I want.
You know, I think they still offer it. But they've got that season package for standing room for $99.
Ain't bad.
Or $109, something like it. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
And people, I guess people get them, and then they see people didn't go, and they go sit down. Yeah.
Well, especially late in the season like now, Cardinals fans aren't showing up for any games.
It was all.
That's a whole different topic. We're talking about real estate today.
The Cardinals had record lows.
It's been bearing those. It looks like a Oakland Athletics team.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah. Or back in the day in Chicago, it's Mindy who's from Chicago. When the Cubs are out of it in September, and it's like 35 degrees or 40 degrees out there.
Yeah, there's like 3 people.
Yeah. And less for the White Sox.
Right.
Did you see the crowd for the White Sox last night when they won the game and they didn't get the losing record?
Yeah.
Oh, the fans were mad. They were booing the team because they won.
Yeah. For those that don't keep up with baseball, the White Sox, when they lose, they have tied the all-time worst record at 120 losses. So they've got the rest of the week. They've got to win the entire week, which would be almost impossible for them.
Yes.
And so they will be the worst team in history, as far as win-loss record.
My city.
And
Making you proud.
Yes.
Were you a Southsider?
Well, my house was divided.
Okay.
So my dad was really into the Cubs, but my mom was a White Sox fan.
Okay.
So it went both ways in our house.
And your mom and dad aren't together anymore. So.
No, there's a reason for that.
And
way more than baseball.
Okay. But David, I want to talk to you today because we have a lot of times we've been off the air and we've said things that we were going to, didn't want to talk about because the rates were a little up still. They were coming down. But,
Yep.
Yeah. But with the Fed rate cut. I know you were telling me off air. You just did a refi on?
Oh yeah, yeah. So folks, what Charlie's talking about. The federal funds rate was cut 50 basis points, brought the Fed fund rate down to roughly an average of 4.875 on a national level, which allowed lenders who were already moving down, anticipating this cut. So our rates have been improving. Knowing this cut occurred, and now we're anticipating additional cuts, as we exit 2024.
Do you think, and get your opinion on this, now, from what Powell said the other day, and I think they were in Jackson Hole. I don't remember.
No, the Jackson Hole was before. I forget
where
I didn't care where it was. I just want to know what he's saying.
After the Fed Fed meeting that day. But in December, there's maybe another 50 basis point cut.
So that's what they're discussing right now, and I keep up with the voting Fed members and some of their outlooks. And folks, I don't want to bore you on the air, but you've got inflation pushing, trying to help push down. The real factor is unemployment's rising. And so the unemployment rate on a national level is really what is triggering the feds to go ahead and make these cuts, because the inflation getting to the true 2% target that they've talked about for years now, we're technically not at 2%. We're
like
just above it.
Aren't we?
Yeah, 2.5, 2.6, right in that area. Right. But we're moving in the right direction. But what's happening is unemployment has been creeping up from 3.8, 3.9, 4, 4.1, 4.2. So 4.2. So they're always having to balance that. So they feel like we will stay below 4.5 at an unemployment rate. They are leaning towards a potential another 50-point cut. Now, that's months out. We've got some things that can occur. But yes, Charlie, you're correct. We are looking at rates coming down. And then, like I've shared with many people, that 2025 is going to see additional rate cuts, which is going to impact long-term mortgage rates and help bring those down. This past week, what Charlie was referring to is, so for all you veterans out there that you've purchased, I can tell you, I had a good veteran, good qualifying information. It was a $700,000 loan. It is a refinance, replacing his current mortgage, and that interest rate for him was 5.125 with no points being paid to buy the rate down.
That's great.
That's a par rate. So 5 1/8 was what the refinance rate was. And so we're seeing this. He wanted to go ahead and pull the trigger based on his personal situation and said, yes, let's do it. So we're moving forward. But where I'm at is it doesn't seem that long ago. Sadly, we said on the radio, and we had numbers like 7 in the beginning of this conversation. Some lenders had 8 in this conversation.
Yeah, that's not been that long ago.
No, it
Not
is
long ago at all.
No, so for us to be in the low 5s and knocking on 4s, and so if you're looking to take a look at where you're at, which is my phone's been blowing up since the feds made the announcement, and some people, based on a lot of them are just repeat customers. So based on how low my rate was to begin with, it's moved down. But some people, I'm telling them, I think you need to continue to wait because of what you just brought up, Charlie. They're going to be able to take advantage here in just a couple of months at maybe even a better rate. And so, but they're coming in. We're looking at their situation. We're either making a decision to move forward now, or we're making a decision to continue to monitor it. And then with them, what we do is we have what's known as a strike rate that basically says, they tell me, hey, David, if I get to 4.875, pull the trigger. I want to go ahead and move forward. I've got their file set up, and we know. And so we're constantly monitoring right now to make sure they get the best opportunity for themselves. So, no, refinances nationwide. So I wish it was just me. Nationwide, applications have exploded as people are jumping on the bandwagon. And again, for some, I feel like maybe they're not. I try to do the best. I try to treat my clients as though they're family. I will tell my family, do it now or wait another 60 days just to see what the benefit could be. I know there are online lenders and market lenders, and they don't give people the best advice, so they allow them to pay points even when I think even if you refinance now, there's a high probability in less than 2 years you're probably going to refinance again as we continue to ride the downward trend. But anyway, that's refinances are up. But Charlie, I'm going to say this. With rates coming down, purchases are up nationwide on existing and new homes. So the market is starting to move. And I can add this. Each month, we are setting record highs for appreciation on those homeowners that currently own a home. It also, we are getting the numbers, they kind of lag behind because we're reporting numbers for July. But Keller, HFHA, all the people who monitored appreciation across the nation, as a nation, we're up just over 5% appreciation in this quote-unquote challenging time and some of the negative you've heard on the news and so forth. So people who have owned homes and for a few years, they have experienced great appreciation in their homes. Those people who bought a home 10 years ago, they're really experiencing great appreciation on their property.
And before we get, I've got a question for you, but I'll hold this thought. I'll probably forget it by the time I'm done here. But Charlie Butler Show brought to you by David Crow at Churchill Mortgage, who also is a great co-host. And I know you guys hear Dave Ramsey every time, or those listeners of this station probably hear Dave Ramsey every morning, and he's on right before us. In fact,
yes.
Dave insisted that he be right before us, so it would increase his audience. So we gave in, but anyway. Churchill's great company. I believe a debt-free company too. Dave.
We are a debt-free mortgage company, and I can't say we're the only one out there, but based on my experience, most mortgage companies are not debt-free.
No, and we said about Keller Williams, one of the few debt-free real estate companies to be that big.
Yes,
and anyway, you'll hear the 800 number. On David's show or on Dave Ramsey's show, where to call. If you want personal service here, nothing wrong. Those are great folks down in Brentwood, Tennessee. But if you want personal service here in Indiana and Kentucky, call David Crow, because David is just not because he's sitting right here, but David's a super good guy. Everybody, every agent that I've talked to that's used you, and I know Mindy's here. She has.
I can actually have good, nice things to say about him.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Not very.
Every agent has. I haven't had a negative comment from any agents that's used you.
Charlie's making me blush over here.
But David, how can they reach you?
Well, first, thank you for all those kind words. And I do strive, whether I'm working with the realtors, the buyers. I even have sellers because I keep them in the loop sometimes. Very appreciative, and I have a heart of a teacher, so I help lead and get people to understand exactly what we're doing. So I do. I get great reviews. I need to do a better job of getting those on social media. I get great reviews, and I don't do a great job sometimes on social media.
What my advertising agency tells me, we got those. We get Facebook reviews.
Yes,
and they've become pretty well worthless now. But because what we did, like for example, our advertising agency. I'll be honest about this. Somebody get a bad review on Facebook. And they'd say, we got a private Facebook page. They'd say, one of them come on there and say, can you guys bury this review?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I need a bunch of people to come on and make a bunch of positive comments.
Yeah, and we wouldn't be dishonest. I would say if I had a seller in wherever or a buyer, I would use blank.
Yes.
And so I didn't lie because I would use them. So and then but Google doesn't let you do that.
No.
So Google pays more attention to that, and people are really big on Google reviews now.
Yep. Now I get, and even on social media, I get a lot of positive comments, and I've had the opportunity of recent in the last 2 months, Mike Hardwick, the founder of Churchill Mortgage, as reviews come in post-closing, Mike will take the opportunity to share out to the entire company nationwide the review and what the buyer said and the comments. And just coincidentally, Mike in less than 2 months has shared out 2 of mine to the entire company nationwide on people saying such great things about David Crow and what the experience was like. And, it's got, Mike gets all these in, no telling how many. And so he kind of goes through when he sees something that really jumps out at him, he forwards it out to the company. And says, great job, David, and so forth. But as Charlie said, I'm here to help you. The easiest way to get a hold of all of us in this industry is my cell phone number. You can call or text. It's 270-222-0676. I'll be happy to help you. You can look online. You'll see the Churchill Mortgage. You see it in Owensboro, Kentucky. But I service Indiana and the state of Kentucky. So happy to help you, me with you, and at least put you on the journey of buying a home. So thanks, Charlie.
And also brought to you by Bossy Title, the official title company of the Charlie Butler Show, and one of the great title companies around. We always try to go to Bossy because Norm does a great job there.
Amen.
Norm
is fantastic.
Norm is fantastic. He is... Norm doesn't do a lot of work anymore, though. Norm is the chief French Bulldog officer there. So
he's fun.
He's a CFO. Yeah, he's fun. Loves to eat. So if you got anything, he'll eat it. But anyway, seriously, Bossy does a great job. So for any real estate transaction, if you're thinking about getting divorced and, you want to screw your wife or husband over and you need to try to move something, find out what they've got in their background there. Let Jeff run a judgment search.
Amen.
And
all kinds of stuff can pop up.
Anyway, you never know what's going to happen. So anyway, you can reach Bossy Title, 812-421-4000, 812-421-4000. And as I said, they do a great job. We kid around a lot, but they are always our preferred title company because if there's an issue, they're there to take care of it. And they don't, they do their best to work everything out. So remember, Bossy Title Company, and of course, Churchill Mortgage. David's not going to let you forget that.
Never.
And but Mindy had an interesting experience here.
I always do.
Yeah. But she was telling me about yesterday. Is it okay if we talk as long as we don't talk in generalities about your experience on the sheriff's sale, lady?
Oh, yeah. So
we'll stay with generalities.
So come to find out, so we do some advertising about being able to help people if they're like behind on their mortgage and things like that. And so we'll get people who call. We're also doing the, if we can't sell your home, we'll buy it, or different programs that we have. And so someone had called in and they talked to another lady on the team, and she gave me the info. So I talked to this lady. Well, come to find out, her house was being foreclosed on today.
It goes sheriff's sale today.
It goes to sheriff's sale today, and she wanted to know if there's anything she could do. And I was like, no. I said, well, first of all, we need to find out if it's actually going to sale.
Right. You got to actually determine. People misunderstand. Yes.
What I've discovered is in Henderson, they put it on a Facebook page. There's a whole Facebook page for the commissioner sale. And
in Henderson, Kentucky?
Yes. And they list it
on Facebook.
On Facebook with a copy of the notice and a picture of the property.
Oh, wow.
So I found it on there. We were talking, and I was like, you might want to call your mortgage company and just confirm, because this will determine if we can do anything. She gets on the phone with the mortgage company, and the lady basically tells her, you can pay us this past due amount, or we're going to take your house. I mean, that was basically what she could do. And then after that whole conversation, she's like, well, do you think that Charlie could help me buy my house? I said, not at this point. I'm like, you have until 10:30 tomorrow to either pay them a very large sum of money or leave.
Yep.
That's basically it.
So the moral of this story, there's several morals.
Yeah.
But the big one is, this lady did not just find out the day before.
Exactly.
We all know that. There has been numerous pieces of mail that have arrived, probably phone calls. I'm sure the sheriff may have even been out to the house before that day.
Well, and then in the conversation, she mentioned that she had filed a bankruptcy and then didn't understand why the bank now wanted the payment. I was like, did you include the house in the bankruptcy? What kind of bankruptcy? Because there's all these factors.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay,
Well, so folks, the moral of that story is, and I'll say this to everybody, tough times hit people, loss of job, medical. Right. There are things that come at people. And I can tell you, not only with Churchill or some of the servicers, because I've had clients tell me, they called and they needed kind of a hardship waiver for a couple months. Banks don't want to foreclose on your home.
Absolutely
not. They would rather work with you, get you reestablished, and keep you making the mortgages. But what you have to do is not hide from them, but rather get on the phone and start having those conversations. They also are not going to show up in 30 days and take your home away from you. So we all are old enough and have enough life experience in this room to know, if you will start working with your lender, your servicer, and work through, if there's a way to work around it and keep you in the home, I would say the vast majority of lenders and institutions are going to work with you. Now, It's not going to be a 6-year program of you not making your mortgage payments, but they're at least going to. But this person calling the day before, it truly is getting sold at the courthouse steps, so to speak.
Yeah. And that's probably right now.
Right now. So, folks, talk to your lender. And it's a sad situation. But at the same time, I have to say, there was an opportunity along the way that this didn't have to end or be initiated 24 hours before it happened.
No, exactly. And I will continue to say, don't wait. From the very first moment that you're in trouble, call, talk to somebody, make an arrangement. Don't wait till the very, very, very last minute and then wonder why nothing's going to happen. Well, wait, you mean I have to leave my house? Well, at this point, yes.
At this stage,
there's no options. You are out of options.
If you say you're not going to go, the sheriff is going to put you out.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mindy, folks, and like I said, tough things happen. I had a home that was purchased just a little earlier this year in Indiana, and I'm just going to let you know, we're talking about a $475,000 home, okay? So in southern Indiana, that's a pretty nice home.
That's very nice.
Very nice home. And they moved in and talking about phone calls happening with the rate reduction. The wife called me and was saying, hey, when we did this, and I said yes. And she said, oh, I do need to let you know something. I said, what? She said, well, we worked with Churchill. My husband had a medical episode. Income wasn't coming in like it was originally. She called Churchill Mortgage. And in this span of only living in the home for 7 months, they had 2 months in which the Churchill reduced their mortgage payment down $1,000 because of her husband's situation. But since then, she's been making back up to the full amount and so forth. And she asked, would this hurt us on refinancing? And I said, well, I'm not going to say yes and no, but I said we need to dive in. But what I'm saying is just not long after moving in the home, they literally had a problem making all the ends meet. And she called. I had no clue of this. And she shared this with me just here in the last week and a half that this occurred with her and her husband. I'm like, well, great. And she was thankful, and now things are fine. But it's a situation where when they knew they had an issue, they got on the phone with the lender, and then the lender said, hey, folks, we can do this for you. And life, as far as I know, is good now. So,
well, and Mindy knows this, and you do too, Dave, is I've asked people, and I know Mindy's asked them a lot more than me, has your lender been contacting you? Well, I get letters from them, but I haven't opened the mail.
All the time.
All the time.
Or it's like, well, I don't think they posted notice. And for those of you that live in Henderson, they put that sucker right on your door. Like they will tape it up there right on your front window.
That's why I said I think somebody's probably already visited this home.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They know.
You can't miss it. So it's amazing. Well, they never sent me anything. Well, I know that's not true.
There's at least one, if not two, stickers on the front window or front door of your property that you can't miss.
And along the same lines, if you do get foreclosed on, do leave, because I had a tenant didn't pay, got evicted. The sheriff's deputy shows up, he didn't leave, so sheriff's deputy, we get him there, and says, sir, I'm not going. He said, and he starts being belligerent to the deputy, and he says, sir, I need to see some ID. Guy left in cuffs.
Yep.
Yeah,
because let me tell you, he probably had
he had outstanding warrants.
Exactly. So you're leaving. So yes, for your best interest, you need to. When it's time to go, you need to go.
Yeah, Mindy, I know you work with people that do get behind. You try to keep them from getting foreclosed on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Mindy is a foreclosure specialist. She works with banks from all over the country, and including some local banks. And so, how can I get a hold of you, Mindy?
812-483-1309.
And remember, with the Charlie Butler team, if you are having some issues, if you can't and you need to sell your home, we have a program set up where we will make an offer on your home in 48 hours. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to be full retail, because it's not. But we have some large investors from around the area, including a big group in Indianapolis that buys all over the country, and they will give you, a pretty fair offer, actually, considering. Call us if you want an offer on your home, or if you need to list your home, and you can reach me at 812-499-7758, or you can reach anyone on the Charlie Butler team at 812-430-1708. Mindy.
Yes.
Yeah.
430-1708.
Yeah, Candace always looks it up, so anyway.
I have weird numbers in my head.
Yeah,
so.
Mindy's got everything except the Kemp's Fax Group in her.
Yeah, that's just rude. That was 25 years ago.
Yeah, Kemp Group, they've been going a while. Those of you that are around, next time we'll be talking about Jordan's house. Mindy is going to be here, and she has seen Jordan's house. We're gonna give you an insight on our producer. So for Mindy Woodward, well, I almost said Malinsky again. David Crow. This is Charlie Butler. Have a great Sunday.
You've got real estate questions but don't know where to get the answers? Tune in here every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. as Charlie Butler, Evansville's own real estate expert, shares the latest news, info, and insider tips to help you make smart real estate decisions. Find him online at charliebutlerteam.com. This program has been paid for by the Charlie Butler team. From the Kate Foppel Ford Studios, this is News Talk 1280 WGBF.